So hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Blessing and this is another video, but in this particular video we're not going to be discussing makeup. Either we're going to be discussing lifestyle videos or lighting or setting up. In this particular video we're going to be talking about a very vital principle, a life principle that can bring you to a place of success. So I started a series on having small little chats and conversations with my YouTube community, and I plan to continue it throughout this year, this particular decade. So one of the topics we are going to be discussing today, one of the topics we are going to be talking about is the power of expectation. I know that sounded like very familiar to you because it's the name of a book by the writer David Blunt, and that book you might want to go and get the book and read the book after now, because it will intrigue you how far expectations can actually bring you. So the power of expectation is a life principle. Yes, it is a life principle. Expectations can, at the long run, do more good than harm. Expectations it's a gold mine. It's something that directs you to yield more outcome than you would have originally did. Now, when it comes to expectations, I have my book here with me, and I jotted some things down that I would want to follow through it. So I apologize if I happen to be looking down too much in this video. So for the definition of expectation, it says here that it's a strong belief that something would happen or be the case. Now, I define expectation as you having foresight. Yes, I see my results from the beginning. I see my outcome from the beginning. I see my profits before I even start a business venture. I see the outcome that will yield out of a relationship before I even gone into the relationship. I see the usefulness of something in my life. I see the purpose without even starting it. So when it comes to expectations, expectations is a strong conviction. It's a strong, you have it inside you. Yes, I already know that if I keep dwelling on this particular thought, it would always come to a reality. Now, in the beginning of the year, I think January, February, I dropped a video on you minding the way you use your words. Now, that even follows through here. It follows through to here. The Bible says, guard your heart with all diligence. Now, in your heart, you should also be seeing the results of your business venture, and not the losses and the failures, not the loophole, not the limitations, not the milestones. You should be seeing the profit. You should be focused on the result even before you start the business venture. So expectations, I would say again, is a strong conviction, is a strong belief, is foresightedness that something would happen. It's always positive. I would say you wouldn't go thinking about something that would happen for you negatively. So it's always positive. It's a strong conviction that something would happen. Now you're looking forward to something good happening. You're already seeing the future that something good will come out of this. It's not the case of Jesus in the Bible where they were saying, can anything good come out of Nazareth? No, that's not your case. Your case here is that you have already seen the end. You've already seen the end before the beginning of whatever it is. Now, the law of expectation states that whatever you expect in your heart with conviction will become a self-fulfilling prophecy. Now, I just said that previously. Whatever you have in your heart, you are strongly believing. Now, for Christians, it will come to a place of having total faith in God and trusting God. Yes, trusting God is the word. Trusting God for this particular thing. and you already have a picture in your mind. This is the result I should yield out of this thing. This is where I'm heading to out of this thing. And I'm not just saying it. I have faith in God. I have Him as a drive to keep pushing me forward to achieving this particular goal. So that's the law of expectation, stating one of its benefits, one of its guidelines. Now Psalm 9:18 says, "For the needy shall not always be forgotten, and the expectation of the poor shall not perish." Once you have an expectation, believe you me, God in heaven will try to drive you towards the end result of that your expectation. You might also want to read Ephesians 3:20. We are not really going deep into the Bible, but even your Father in heaven says that if He can provide for the birds of the air, how much more you that He created in His own image. You can ask. It's not always about opening your mouth and shaking and nodding your head in prayer. You can ask diligently. I have a picture. I see a big picture for this business. I see a big picture for my academic results. I see a big picture for my finances. And I'm not just seeing that big picture. I have faith in God. I'm trusting God that out of this hard work, out of this labor I'm putting in, I would yield this particular result. I would yield it. So aside that, your own expectation is God's wisdom for determining the next level of your success. Now, have you seen that a lot of us limit God because we cannot think big? We cannot see the big picture. Now, I used to tell a lot of people under me that I believe you mean that you're just seeing a pisco out of the whole picture. You're not seeing the big picture. You're not seeing the whole frame. You're just seeing a very tiny part of the picture. And you are limiting God to that tiny frame, that tiny part of the picture that you see. Now, it's in God's wisdom to put you to a place of having expectations, to put you in a place that you have expectations concerning this thing, and you want to break forth, you want to spread, you want to try to achieve. That's His way of pushing you into next level. So I was listening to a sermon pressing into next level season, and my mind was blown away. My mind was blown away. There were a lot of things packed full in that sermon. I think I will drop a link to the sermon in the description box so you can go and listen to it. You can limit God with your mediocre mindset. You can limit God with the way you think. You can limit God with the thought you are. You can limit God. You can limit God. Let me just stop at that and not go into us limiting God from bringing us into next level. But when you see a bigger picture, when you see a bigger frame, when you're not just limited to what's happening now, when you can cast further thoughts to what's happening 5 years from now, you could be able to be pulled into next level season by God. So it's in God's wisdom to do that for you. Now there are a series of things I wrote down, I penned down as one of the arsenals of expectations. Yes, expectation is not just there as a law and a principle and a guideline. Expectation can also be seen as a drive. Expectation is a drive. Expectation is a drive that makes you want to do more. When you can see the big picture, you would want to put in the level. When you can see the big picture, you will want to engage. When you can see the big picture, expectation is already pulling you to do more because you have seen the big picture. You've seen the big frame. You've seen how far you want to go. You see how much length you want to ascertain. You now have the will. You now have the power to do more. Now, the second thing I wrote here is that expectations make the vision plain. You cannot be expecting something and you've not seen the vision, you've not seen the mandate, you've not seen the goal, you've not seen the result. Now you already see the result and you have the willpower to drive that vision. And believe you me that when you have expectations and you have a vision, everybody can see it and run with it with you because they know that this particular expectation this person has about this thing, is something that makes the person work and labor more effectively and diligently. So when they see that the vision about this particular business venture, this company, it's so broad as daylight, they would want to run with you in it. Now I had this director one certain time, and as of the time when I joined into the department, the department was not so developed. It was just like a few persons, and each time I sat down with the director and I was bothered about our number, she would tell me, when I look at these people, I don't just see these people, I see men. I see a lot of men. I used to wonder, honestly, I used to wonder where she was seeing the men. But the shocking reality about that statement is that before she left, I saw a realization of her vision. I saw a realization of her expectation. I saw the expectation come to life. I saw people gather. People came, loyal men came. So next time you are doubting your expectation, next time you are doubting what you are doing, next time you are doubting how far this thing can pull you through, please just take a while back and just sit down and wonder, if there are no expectations, how would you come to the end results of that particular thing you're doing if you cannot make the vision plain? Like, do you know that expectation enables people to want to go into certain partnership deals with you? Because they expect, most times people even expect a level of trust and discipline from you. They have not seen you act it out, but they expect. And that expectation most times puts you accountable to doing that particular thing that they want you to do. So aside that, it also makes you fulfill purpose. Of course, the purpose that you've written down, the purpose of that business venture, that particular organization, the purpose, it just helps you fulfill it. You cannot just be expecting something and you're not fulfilling the purpose of that thing in the other hand. Now, it makes you do more. I've already said this before. It makes you put in the work. I know this is the result I want. If I want this result, I want to come out as a first class student from my university. It means that I have to put in the work, of course. I have to put in the work. I have to make sure I come up with good grades. I have to make sure my assessment is complete. I have to make sure I submit assignments when they are due. I have to make sure I'm in class. I have to make sure I'm doing all those things if I want to emerge as a successful person. Now, it also gives you a sense of direction. Let's just say that you are building an organization, and 2 years from now, you want to be paying the top high-ranking workers 5 million naira per month. Now, at the beginning of that business venture, you're not going to be paying them the 5 million naira. You probably would be paying them, let's start with 10,000 naira. And you pay them 10,000 naira for the first month. And the second month, you pay them 20,000 naira. The third month, you pay them 50,000 naira. The reason it keeps going higher is because you have an expected goal. You know that you want to pay these people 5 million naira at the end of 2 years. So you keep increasing it. It gives you step-by-step procedures, step-by-step plans on how to achieve your 5 million naira goal of paying your high-ranking officials 5 million naira per month. Now that thing, have you seen how it has given you a sense of direction? It has given you a sense of direction. You know what to do at every particular point in time. Now, there are benefits of expectations. There are benefits of having expectations. One of the benefits of having expectations is that you can measure your performance, of course. You'll be able to measure your profits, your performance, your results. You'll be able to measure all those things. And that's because you've had an expectation, like, I expect this to happen, so I should be having results at intervals if I want to reach to the goal. Now, you can also have the ability to say no. Now, expectations is one of the things that teaches you to say no. My spiritual father would say that if you have a vision and you've made the vision plain, it doesn't matter what's happening around you, your eyes is fixed on the goal. So whatever anybody is trying to convince you to do, since you're so engulfed in achieving the goal, you would not even be thinking twice about what the person is saying. You would immediately say no. You would immediately say no. Now, if at all I want to emerge as a first class student and I tell myself I'm going to be reading 3 hours per day, during that 3 hours per day, I shouldn't be making calls, I shouldn't be taking calls, I shouldn't be chatting, I shouldn't be seeing a movie. Like, I know that those 3 hours I'm going to be reading, those 6 hours I'm going to be reading. So it has already given me the ability, once you just come around me that particular point in time, I can just say no, I don't want to do that. So it gives you the ability to say no to a lot of things, and your eyes is fixed on the goal. It can also make you take bold decisions. Now, it makes you take bold and very positive decisions, which is one of the things that youngsters nowadays, they don't know how to do. They are always on the bar. They cannot either say yes or either say no. Most times they even let people decide for them. But the fact that you are fixed on a goal, you have a target, you have a plan, you have an expectation, you can just make decisions on your own. Even at times, let me shock you, at times, those decisions are even made even before you get to the point where you now voice out the decision. You've already made those decisions, and you're just waiting for the time when it's now come face to face with you, and you're not saying no, I'm not doing this particular thing. So one of the other things expectations can make you do is that it gives you the leverage to do the right things at every particular point in time. Once you have an expectation, your eyes is driven, like it's so focused on you wouldn't be focused on doing a lot of other things that don't matter. And my spiritual father would also say, and always say, that you don't have a money problem, it's a wisdom problem. You've been exposed to the reality of the power of expectation. Make sure you utilize it, because this is an arsenal to success. I believe you me, this is an arsenal to success. I was speaking to one of my mentors, and he told me one striking thing. Like, when he just said it, I was like, that's right, that's all I needed. Like, that's all I needed. He said that you build expectations, like you build them intentionally, you build them, and those expectations kind of like it makes you gain more. It makes you gain more. If you're so expectant about a journey, you're making a trip, a journey, believe you me, you're going to enjoy that journey, and it's one you're never going to forget. If you have an expectation over a meal that someone is preparing for you, when that meal comes, it's going to be like heaven on earth for you. Now, can you see the power of expectation forming its reality in the littlest of things? Now, why not make this thing applicable to bigger things? Why not make this thing applicable to things that matter? I'm still going to recommend this book to you, The Power of Expectations by David Blunt. Do well to read that book. And thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching this video right up until this point. I love you guys so much. Remember to like, to share, and to comment. See you in the next one. Bye.